Hello homeowners! Sometimes I need to deliver bad news to my customers. It happens when their fridge is broken and it's not worth fixing that. So they need to buy a new one. And customers are asking me all the time, Gary, which fridge we should buy, French door, side by side or freezer on top? In this video I'm going to answer this exact question. Let's go! Hey, I'm Gary. I run my appliance repair business here in Calgary, and me and my technicians are fixing on average 50 to 60 fridges a week. And when fixing the fridge is going to cost you more than the half of the new one, I honestly advise you that it's time to get a new one. At this point, the most popular question is, should we buy a French door one side by side or freezer on top? And let's take a look at them one by one. We'll be looking at the fridges from three aspects: budget, usability, and reliability. So here we have a French doors fridge with the bottom freezer model made by Frigidaire, which is the Electrolux at the same time. This type of the fridges is my favorite one because of the design it's been made, the average price, and really good quality. Why do they call it the French doors? Because the fridge compartment in here has two doors. That's a really good advantage because usually people put the heavy stuff inside of the doors. So to save your hinges in here, you have two doors, and it's definitely make the life easier for the functional parts. This model is not the cheapest one on the market, obviously, but I cannot say that it's very expensive one. I would put it somewhere in the middle. I would say the French door fridge is the most reliable one comparing to the other type of the fridges because of the many factors. The way it's actually producing the cold air and circulate the cold air in both compartments, I found is the best one. Usability. You use your appliance mostly for the fridge compartment. The freezer you open up probably once or twice a week, so that makes sense to put it on the bottom. So when you open it up, you need to angle your body a little bit. The fridge compartment is the most important one, so it's on the same level of your body. You don't have to angle your body. You open up the door, very easy. At the same time, you can open up one side and the other side, which definitely is a good advantage. French door fridges, they have two common issues. The first issue is the defrost system. It usually happens within a time just because of the way it works. Parts are worn, you need to replace them. The average price of the repair of the defrost system is gonna cost you somewhere in between of $150, I would say up to 500 Canadian dollars. Number two is the main control board. In this particular model, the main control board located in the worst place you can imagine. It's actually on the bottom of your fridge where all of the dust is accumulated, and as we all know, the main problem for all of the electronics, dust. Homeowners, thank you for watching this video. I hope my videos are making your life easier. Is it a bad idea if I ask you to subscribe to my channel? Thank you, and let's move on. Now we have a side-by-side type of the fridge in here. Why they call it side-by-side? Because you have a freezer side in here by the fridge side on the right-hand side. Usually freezer on the left, fridge on the right-hand side, I would say 99% cases. My personal opinion, I would never buy the side-by-side due to many aspects. First of all, the design, the way how technically the cold air is circulating in here, plus accessibility and many other factors we're gonna mention right now. I would say side-by-side is not the cheapest one and of course not the most expensive one. It's a little bit more expensive than the cheapest on the market, and I guess it's a little bit below the French doors style of the fridges. Usability, in other words, design. For me, the way that it's been designed, not the perfect way for sure. You have a freezer in here, it's kind of narrow, and at the same time it goes all the way from top to the bottom. So if you store something on the lower part, you always have to angle your back. At the same time, I cannot say that you open up the freezer compartment that often to have an access when your body is straight here. So it's quite questionable. Same thing with the fridge compartment. It's pretty narrow and you have everything from the bottom to the top. And some of the things you keep them in here. So again, you have to angle your back. Some of the food located on top, and due to the design, how the cold air is circulated from the freezer to the fridge compartment, the upper part is going to be the coldest one. Sometimes even below 0 0 Celsius, that means your food might be frozen. Side by side is the less reliable type of the fridge I've ever seen due to the many factors. The first one, cooling system. The way it's working, the cold air is making by the compressor and running through the evaporator and heat exchanger system. So the compressor is located on the bottom. It's compressing the air, and then all of the coils of the evaporator getting cold. And by the evaporator fan, it's blowing up, which doesn't really make sense, and then goes to the fridge compartment and naturally goes down. So in this particular case, you'll definitely have temperature layers. The most common issues with the side-by-side fridges, the first one is the defrost system issue. The second one is the water system line. As for the defrost system, there are lots of parts involved in the process, beginning from the temperature control thermostat, defrost heater, evaporator fan motor, air damper, in most of the cases, main control board and the temperature control thermostat getting faulty easily. The second thing is the water system. You can imagine that most of the cases your filter located in the top right corner of the fridge compartment where the coldest air coming in. So if there is a poor insulation of this line, it's going to be frozen, and the filter is obviously going to be frozen, so it might crack and start leaking. Very common issue. Just imagine the water inlet valve located on the back side of the fridge nearby the compressor on the bottom, the water line located on the opposite side of the appliance, and the valve has to push the water all the way, which make extra pressure on the part, and that makes it unreliable. And the last one but not the least, freezer on top model of the fridge. Very simple, very reliable. I always recommend our customers to buy as simple as possible. Your appliances, they need to do a simple job to work properly and reliable way. The main advantage of the top freezer models, they're very affordable. They're not expensive at all. You can use it as the extra fridge at your place. They're gonna last forever. In regards of the accessibility, I would say this type of the model is the worst one. So your body always straight to open up the freezer, but you obviously not opening up your freezer door very often. The fridge compartment is on the bottom. I would say it's not very good design because you have to angle your body each time you put in and out your foot. Reliability. The compressor is located on the bottom. That's obviously the most expensive part, and pushing the cold air all the way to the upper part, and then naturally the cold air goes down to the fridge compartment. Of course, there is an extra part circulating the air from the freezer compartment to the fridge compartment, calling the evaporator's fan motor. However, this appliance is cooling itself naturally because the cold air is always trying to go down, warm air trying to go up. Not the best design of the compressor system. However, it's very simple. That makes this type of the fridge very reliable. There are two most common issues happening with the freezer top models. The first one and the most common is the drain system and evaporator fan. Obviously, it's the same thing and they're working together. It's located inside of the freezer compartment, and because of the water, which is defrosting after the defrost cycle, going all the way in there on the bottom, that makes this line is very long. Possibility that something might be clogged very high. And the second common issue, compressor system. However, for these type of models, usually the compressor lasts for 15 to 20 years. So now let's draw the line. If your budget is tight, go with the fridge that has a freezer on top. If you're looking for the fridge which is reliable and easy to use, your choice is the fridge with the French doors and the freezer on the bottom. And side-by-side fridge will be your choice if you really like this design and you have a really nice deal on it. If you still have some questions left, feel free to drop them into the comments and I will do my best to answer all of them. That's it for today. Smash the like and see you in the next video.